Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rosano, and this is the Friday episode of the world famous, the University of Love, the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves. We are coming to you live today. It's Friday. We are here in the state of Georgia, in the city of Atlanta, Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long week, but here we are. Today we are going to talk about something important. Today we are going to discuss storytelling and how if you tell the right story, you could charge buku bucks, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. You have to learn how to tell the right story. You know, when I say tell the right story, I don't mean you lie, but we all know people tell stories. You know, you have a story about your company, you have a story about your business, you have a story about your life. Like they say in Hollywood, sometimes it can be based on a true story, you know. You know, what I mean by that is, let's say you start a shoe company and you tell the right story about how you wanted to start the shoe company and you worked in the dirt all your life and yada yada yada, and then you say, I want shoes for the working man, but I want these to be your only pair of shoes forever, so I'm going to charge you $250 to have these shoes for the next 10 years, blah 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 blah, you know. Somebody says $250 for a pair of shoes, blah blah blah. But if you tell the story right, you market yourself right, you can charge $200, $300, $400, $500, does not matter. People will pay because people will pay for what they want to pay for. And so you have to tell the right story. You have to make sure that you are telling the correct story about your business, about your brand. And the better you tell that story, the more money you will be able to make. We discussed this before. You see the Salt Bays on TV, you know. This guy's charging like $200, $300 for a steak and whatnot, you know. And every blue moon, he probably comes by and, you know, slices and dices a little bit. And people are like, ooh, ah, you know. And so you'll be amazed at how the right marketing, the right storytelling can get you very far, you know, very quickly, as a matter of fact. I listened to this podcast about this luggage company. This lady wanted to start a luggage company. And then I looked up her prices for the luggage. I said, I might support. And they were out of this world, you know. And I'm like, oof. I was like, I'm probably not in her clientele, you know. But she ain't looking for me, you know what I mean? And that's another thing about storytelling and about knowing your business. Who are you looking for? Are you looking for high-end clients? Are you looking for everyday? Are you looking for people that work for a living every day? What are you looking for, and how are you going to find them? How are you going to seek them out? And how are you going to craft your story to these people, okay? That's the most important thing about all this. You know, you want to be able to tell your story, but you want to be able to tell it correctly, and you want to, you know, tell the best story possible. And so that's why you should definitely look at different things when it comes to storytelling. Look at different people, look at different movies, see how they set it up, you know. This is not, because we talked about this before. We talked about this last week. We talked about framework, you know. We talked about scripts, you know. This is why you need a script. This is why you want to, because listen, flying off the cuff, you know, winging it, that's cool and all, but it won't get you to where you want to go, you know. The more you tell your story, the better off you will be. As I talked about it before, if you ever want to hear the great Zig Ziglar, get one of his audio books or watch him for a few minutes on YouTube. I don't know if he's on YouTube or not, but Zig Ziglar, he tells the story. a farm kid from Yazoo City, Mississippi, and he has a wife, the redhead, he still cookware, and he loves to spin stories, but they're very compelling, they're very funny stories, and I find him delightful, and he's an example of somebody that can tell a good story, and somebody that I can learn from, and there's plenty of examples that you can learn from, It doesn't always have to be a comedian, doesn't always have to be a dramatic actor, it doesn't have to be, it could be people that in your everyday life that can tell a great story. It could be a friend of yours, it could be a family member of yours, Just pay attention to them and see how they operate, see how they work the room, Those are things that you want to be able to work on. You want to have command, you want to have control of the room, you want to be able to tell your story, you want to be able to, put it out there and say, hey, this is why we're doing this is why we're doing that, You want to be able to learn how to be giving, in order for us, in order for you, in order for I to make any kind of money, we have to give a little bit of ourselves to the public. It's just how it is. No matter how you try to dance around it, your opinion, you're going to have to give out your opinion. You're going to have to talk about you. You're going to have to talk about your life. You're going to talk about facts. You're going to talk about things, and some people you're gonna rub the wrong way, and that's all right. Who cares? At the end of the day, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm telling the correct story. I know what I'm doing. I'm doing the right thing, and let's carry on. Let's get down the road. All right. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as I told you before, I watched some wrestling to try to learn about storytelling. I used to watch soap operas when my mom we only had one TV. My mom would make us watch soap operas unless we want to go out into the 100-degree heat. And so soap operas, they tell, compelling stories, very dramatic, very vivid. And so you want to be able to have that ability to craft a story, whether it be in your audio, whether it be in your email, whether it be on your, the copy of something you're selling. You want to have compelling stories. You want the reader to be in the moment. You want the reader to be relaxed. You want the reader to be in the moment, and you want the reader, as soon as they get done, what more can I buy from them? That is what you're looking for, So learn how to tell a correct story, and the money will flow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We will be back tomorrow with the bonus episode of Online Marketing Moves, and Sunday we might come out with something. I don't know. Don't hold me to it, but we'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you for listening. Thank you for your time, and as always, everybody, peace.